Pusha T should be on the greatest 50 rappers of all time list?
How? What has he done? What has he done that puts him in the greatest rappers of all time besides talk about that he probably didn't kiss?
To respect people who turned the lights on for you.
Mase taught me how to rap, and Cam always made sure I was on every single album he had. There would be no Jim Jones if it wasn't for them guys.
1 hour later.
And it's good to hear you give Mase his flowers.
I ain't giving no flowers. I love to hate, because I'm a hater myself.
Breath of it, I will close your heaven for the hell of it. It seems to be valor amongst veterans. I'm watching your fame escape relevance. We all in a room, but here's the elephant. There's no tombstones in the desert. I know by now you get the message. Uncle said, nigga, you must be sick. All you talk about is just get rich. Choke my neck, nigga, and ice my bitch. Beat the system with chain.
Welcome back to your daily dose of scandal and glamour. Let's spill the tea on today's hottest drama. Man, this is exactly why Jim Jones crashed out. Again, Pusha was staring dead into the camera, like he was drilling straight into Jim's soul. He said Jim's been running from the spirit of repossession ever since the bank snatched his house. That's wild on its own, but it didn't stop there.
From the spirit of repossession, too much enamel covers your necklace. I buy bitches, you buy them sections. You buy watches, I buy collections.
Mase really popped out with a bucket of popcorn just to watch it all go down. And here's what makes it even crazier. After getting dragged like that in public, Jim still refuses to just take the L and move on. Nope, he's out here trying to fight back with a freestyle, and now he's throwing slick shade on IG at both Pusha and Mase. But come on, Mase and Cam?
Oh, man. Okay.
It's what they want.
They're not the type to let that slide. They're clowning him with surgical precision. Let's talk about how badly Pusha destroyed Jim with that Tiny Desk performance. It was ruthless. Pusha and Malice popped out like they had a personal mission. This was part of their rollout for the comeback album, Let God Sort 'Em Out, and they were not holding back. The standout? Their new collab with Kendrick Lamar called Chains and Whips. In that track, they dragged Jim through the dirt. No filter, no mercy. And if you watched both the Tiny Desk performance and the Genius lyric breakdown, then you know what time it is. Pusha didn't flinch. He didn't blink. He recited those bars like he was reading scripture. Cold, calculated.
You begged us. You are a fan. A fan.
Pause, though. Get off my...
With this evil little grin like he knew he just lit Jim up on live TV. The way Pusha slapped Jim around on that track, straight up surgical. But honestly, Jim's got nobody to blame but himself. He brought all this heat on his own head just cause he wanted to ride for Drake like a loyal guard dog. This whole mess kicked off when Jim randomly started throwing shots at Pusha. Why? Just cause of his alliance with Drake. And let's break down that savage line from Chains and Whips. We all in the room, but here's the elephant. You chasing a feature out of your element. Pusha was violating. That was aimed directly at Jim Jones, who's been out here begging for a Drake feature like it's life or death.
On the 5 Pusha T records right now, his records.
Yes.
Name
I love Pusha. Nostalgia.
Oh, you was a Pusha T fan. He's like, I didn't know he had fans like that. Can you name 5 Pusha T records? No, his records.
See, but
no, can you? No, can you rap to 5 Pusha?
I can't rap 5. No,
all right, can you rap to 5? Wait. Can you rap? If 5 Pusha T records, not the records he's featured on, if 5 Pusha T records came on right now, could you rap them?
You could rap 5 Pusha T records?
Yeah.
No, could you rap 5 Pusha T records right now if they started playing?
What do you mean rap? Like the hook?
Could you sing them? You're not in my top 50. You might be in Charlemagne's top 50 and things like that. But you haven't done that much for me in my life. Like I didn't never want to be like Pusha. I never had a Pusha moment in my life. I never thought like you dig. Like where I'm from, I want to be like you if you was really that dude and that rapper and things like that.
Wanted to be like Pusha? He was influenced by Pusha?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
That's why Pusha did the Mr. Me Too record.
Okay, cool. You're a very strong Pusha T fan. Nigga, you is nowhere near the top 50. You top 950.
Man even went as far as calling Drake the GOAT. All of a sudden, Jim's whole identity became Drake's hype man. Then came the Billboard list. Remember when they placed Pusha T at number 29 in their top 50 greatest rappers of all time? Jim snapped. He pulled up on the Breakfast Club talking reckless, saying Pusha didn't even belong in the top 50. And he didn't stop there. He doubled down on the Rap Caviar podcast too, claiming Pusha hasn't done anything major for the culture. But that bar clearly hit a nerve, because Jim came flying back with a freestyle, trying to bite back. Now here's where things get real weird. He actually recorded that freestyle 2 years ago. Yup, that's before Chains and Whips even officially dropped. So how did he get the beat early? Turns out, a part of the track leaked when Clips debuted it during a Louis Vuitton runway show. Jim must have caught wind of it, grabbed the beat, and dropped his freestyle the very next day. That's how pressed he was, even back then. But nah, Jim still ain't backing down. After that Clips Tiny Desk performance went viral and had everyone talking, Jim hopped on Instagram throwing slick shade at Pusha.
He should be on the greatest 50 rappers of all time list?
Ow! What has he done? What has he done that puts him in the greatest rappers of all time besides talk about that he probably didn't? What has he done? Nobody has dressed like him. Nobody wants to be like Pusha T. No, I don't remember nothing. And let's not be evil, but we don't talk about rap where that's popping the want to be like. I don't know too many in this game that was leaning towards being like Pusha T. I don't know no records they play in the club with or Pusha T. They don't play outside. NBA Youngboy before Pusha T.
That's wild, Jim. That's
NBA Youngboy before Pusha
crazy.
T?
That's crazy. What do you... What? Nah, Jim just trying to get everybody mad.
Pusha T around out here. You heard?
Jim trying to get everybody mad. That Jim's... look at him. Look at him.
But that's what I'm trying. That's how I feel about Pusha T.
He posted a clip of that old freestyle from 2 years ago with the caption, "I thought we addressed this already. He gonna need a bigger desk, 'cause that one was too tiny." He added, "This is surgical. I'm not a storyteller. I'm a life liver, and your brother is still a friend to me, LOL. Like, really, Jim? But the wildest part? His own fans weren't having it. The comments section lit him up. One person wrote, "You got triggered and smoked so bad, you re-uploaded a diss from last year." Another clown came through with, "He ain't say your name, and you out here bragging about enamel on your necklace?" Then someone else hit him with, "Jealousy turns into obsession. Give it up, man. You reaching." It wasn't just random fans either. Mase and Cam got involved too, and you already know, when they jump in, it gets spicy. If you followed their long history with Jim, then yeah, you can bet they're loving this mess right now. Mase especially couldn't hold in his laughter, and for good reason. This drama's got deep roots. Jim, Mase, and Cam all came up in Harlem, part of that early wave in the rap game. At least that's what Jim claims. But Cam's version of how things went down is very different. And oh yeah, we're gonna get into that real soon. They were once crew.
Who said, nigga, you must be sick? All you talk about is just get rich. Choke my neck, nigga, and ice my bitch. Beat the system with chains and whips.
Like straight up children of the corn. Back in the mid-90s, Mase was the first to take off. He signed with Bad Boy Records and blew up almost overnight. But according to Jim Jones, that's when the whole vibe changed. Jim says once Mase got famous, he switched up and started acting different, especially towards Cam'ron. He distanced himself from the same people who helped him get where he was. During his appearance on Justin LeBoy's Respectfully show earlier this year, Jim spilled even more tea. He said he personally watched Mase talking trash about Cam after he hit fame, and that's when Jim claims he lost all respect for him, just like that. While Mase was out here rising under Diddy's spotlight, Cam was still out in the trenches, hustling. And when Cam finally got his big shot, he didn't leave Jim behind. He brought him with him. That's how they built the whole Dipset movement from the ground up, side by side. Meanwhile, Mase had his own wild path. After dealing with all that drama under Diddy, he dipped from the rap game entirely and became a pastor. But then, boom, he reappeared years later, jumping back into the rap scene like nothing happened. And Jim? He wasn't buying that comeback for a second. To Jim, Mase looked shaky. 1 minute preaching, the next minute rapping, always popping up when the spotlight hit. He saw Mase as flaky, inconsistent, and just chasing attention when it was convenient. Now, yeah, Mase and Cam definitely had beef back in the day, no doubt. But they squashed all that in 2022 and even launched their sports podcast, It Is What It Is. That reunion? It hit Jim hard. Word is he wasn't feeling it at all. He got bitter over seeing Cam and Mase cool again and started firing off cheap shots out of nowhere. Just recently, Jim even went at Mase's appearance, clowning him and saying he needed to go on a diet. But you already know, Mase and Cam weren't just gonna sit there and take that. So they turned the petty all the way up. They invited none other than Jim's longtime nemesis, 50 Cent, to their podcast, and they didn't waste time getting messy with it. At one point,
how you doing, man? Yes, play too. Oh, what's happening? Oh man, this is crazy, man. All right. Oh man. Okay.
It's what they want.
Cam looked over at Mase and casually asked him to explain why Jim randomly popped up at a 50 Cent concert back in 2007, while Dipset and G-Unit were beefing. You already know Cam threw that question up like an alley-oop, just waiting on 50 to dunk on Jim. And that's exactly what went down. Of course, Jim took the bait. He went off during his chat with Justin LeBoy, blasting both Cam and 50 for even speaking on his name. He said they owed him more than a few favors and tried to check them live on air. Then Jim really turned up. He started taking credit for the whole Dipset style. He claimed he was the one who inspired Cam's entire aesthetic, including that iconic pink fur coat. Like, Jim said that whole legendary look? His idea. You already know Cam wasn't gonna let that slide. He clapped back on the podcast. And yeah, he went in on Jimmy. Cam straight up tore apart Jim's whole Dipset origin story, calling him out for faking it and lying about being from Harlem. He made it loud and clear, Jim wasn't no day one soldier. According to Cam, they weren't in the trenches together at all. Jim came way later and was never part of the original squad. And when Jim tried to claim he saw Mase son Cam during the Bad Boy era, Cam shut that down real quick. He said Jim wasn't even around during those days. By the time Jim showed up, Children of the Corn already had a name in the streets. Jim, according to Cam, he was just a fan watching from the sideline. But Cam wasn't finished. He pulled another card. He exposed that it was Mase who actually taught Jim how to rap. And just to make it sting more, Cam came with receipts, real clips, where Jim himself admits that Mase gave him his first bars. Still, the absolute highlight of that whole episode, those random cuts to Mase posted up with a giant bucket of popcorn, almost choking from laughing too hard. He didn't even have to say a single word. He was just sitting there eating, grinning, cracking up like he was watching a live roast. And somehow, that was enough to get under Jim's skin. He got so triggered, he jumped online and fired back like, "I'll slap that popcorn out of Mase's hand." Like, bruh, he really let some popcorn mess with his whole pride. But Jim didn't stop there. He kept spinning the block. Right after threatening to slap the popcorn out of Mase's hand, he went live again, still ranting. This time, he tried to paint Mase and Cam as washed-up legends living off old stories. Jim said, "They sitting around talking about the past like it's 2003. Bro, that era gone." But here's the twist. While Jim's talking about them being stuck in the past, he's the one dragging up old drama, dropping freestyles from 2 years ago, and beefing over a list. Fans saw right through it. One even commented, "You calling them washed while recycling the same bars from 2022? The internet is relentless." And Jim's getting roasted left and right. Meanwhile, Cam and Mase kept the clown show going. In their next podcast episode, Cam showed up wearing pink fur and a cape, mocking Jim's "I created the Dipset look" claim. Mase just kept shaking his head, sipping from a mug that read, "Number Life Liver" on it. That one detail alone sent the internet into a frenzy. And here's the kicker. 50 Cent added more gas to the fire with a shady Instagram post. He dropped a pic of himself laughing with the caption, "Y'all better call the fire department." Jimmy's melting down again. You already know what that did. Comments flooded in with memes, gifs, and all kinds of chaos. Now Jim's in a spot where everyone's watching, waiting to see if he'll really clap back with something fresh or just keep recycling old heat. 'Cause right now, he's swinging at ghosts while the whole room is laughing. But here's the thing, Jim still ain't done. He's gearing up for war now, and guess who he's bringing with him? Drake. That's right, Jimmy's teaming up with the Six God himself for his upcoming album Iceman. And word on the street is, he's loading the clip for everybody. Push, Mase, Cam. Nobody's safe. Insiders say Jim's been in the studio, lining up bars aimed at every single person who threw shade his way. He's treating this album like a hit list. If folks thought the drama was over, they better think again, because Jimmy's coming back swinging with vengeance in the booth. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.